Alright, welcome to day 61 of the Vera Series. And still, we don't have a level increase, so most likely in 2.3 we're going to get one, and we might get a pretty big level increase, so you might want to start stocking up on some weapon materials. But starting out, you want to go to your artificial island, and you want to go back to build and hit claim, because remember, you can only hold these resources for 24 hours. On top of that, don't forget to kill your enemies because they respawn every Monday, and you want to check the exchange store and buy your weekly items. Then we have Mia's Kitchen, and we have our daily bounties for the day, and I'm gonna go with the Sparrow. Then we got Vitality, starting with joint operations. So for today, we got access to Pants, Hands, a King and a Crow Matrix, and we can do Sadness Valley. So these are some really good dungeons, and you may want to use some Vitality solutions. Then we have Interstellar Exploration, and you want to check Vera as well as check Aspera, so that way you get all of your Stargates. And remember, how you tell if this is a level 3 Stargate is if this weapon battery category has a number 3, it's a level 3 Stargate, but if it has a number 2, it's a level 2 Stargate. But if you don't have any level 3s or level 2s, you could always do dimensional trials. And if you need money, you could always do space-time domains. And if you're pressed for time, you could always make Omnium beacons. Then we got our optionals, and that is giving gifts to your 1.0 characters, and the best way to do that is to go to the black market and talk to Hopkins, see this island and do the call machine, and do your 2 trainings for the day. But what is not optional is to do your 8 fun zones and try to do your 6 gray space fissures. But the best rewards are in the Twilight Zone, so you might want to focus on that, but you do have an 8-hour time limit. And don't forget to do your racing, so that way you can get in the top 100 and get that 400 Mira. And try not to wait till the last day to do your Security Force mission, so that way you can get those owed Vera coins and Mira. And you want to go to your bag, go to the missions tab, click on an item and click use, so that way you can get to appointed research. Because remember, you can only hold a grand total of 20 energy and you get 5 free energy a day. So for me personally, I'm trying to complete all of the research and I'm working on the very bottom one so I can get those free resources. But if you enjoy these daily guides, I would greatly appreciate a like so that way you can spread on YouTube. Then hopefully you logged in enough time so that way you got all the rewards. Then don't forget about New Year's Garden Party. We can get a grand total of 7,000 points a day, so you want to do that Fall Guys event so that way you can start clearing out the store. But tomorrow we do get Break from Destiny co-op battle, so that'll be fun to play with your friends. And for some news, so if you ended up doing the Lucky Tarrot from last time and you got a combat engine, it was a physical combat engine. So now they finally gave us a regular combat engine to make up for the mistake. And of course mine is terrible. And for some other news, it looks like they messed up the Sequential Phantasm rankings last week. I believe this was due to the server transfers, and this greatly impacted my friend Kazzer, who ended up getting the #1 spot last week, but it didn't count. Hopefully they resolve this soon and he gets his #1 spot. Which brings us to the weekly tab. Now you already know how I feel about type 3 keys, and I strongly suggest that you save those for 2.3, maybe even 2.4, so that way you can get those strong matrices. But essentially you want to do everything down here so that way you can get everything up top. And then we have our challenges. So if you're trying to do something like the Bygone Phantasm or Frontier Clash, you might want to save your Mia's Kitchen so that way you can power yourself up. But starting with the Bygone Phantasm. So again, I recommend that you take a look at this weapon bonus. If you have a good weapon bonus, you might want to do this sneak to next level, and if your CS is high enough, you're going to be able to jump up 11 levels as long as you can beat that floor. But the biggest thing that will determine your rank is Sequential Phantasm. If you're able to get a high score here, you're most likely going to get the top rewards for the week. Frontier Clash, we got another attempt today, so you want to go ahead and knock that out so that way you can get that golden gear. Void Rift, if this is a first time boss for you, you want to go ahead and knock it out. Void Abyss, you want to make sure you go ahead and do this before the end of the month so that way you get those micro reactors. Wormhole, we got another 5 days to complete this, so you want to go ahead and do that so that way you can get that extra energy crystal dust. Raids, you want to make sure you do the last 2 on heroic and you do battle test area on heroic so that way you get the best rewards for the week. The Critical Abyss, now this is optional content, but you can do it so that way you can get those clusters. Break from Destiny, you want to make sure you do this at least 1 time so you can get those 250 dark crystals. Apex League, if you're trying to reach Grand Marshal, you might want to put a couple hours in each day. Then we got our daily buys, so you want to go to shop, hot, and then buy your 2 vitality solutions. Now this is only if you can afford it, but I do have 96, so I think I'm going to pass. But if you can't afford it, I recommend that you buy your advanced modules and your booster modules for the week. Which brings us to the Commissary, starting with the Crystal Dust store. So you want to buy your advanced modules, your booster modules, and your very special gift for the week. But when it comes to your potent Omnium crystal, I recommend that you pass because we should have enough to reach an 8.3, even 8.4 suppressor through exploration alone. But what you can do with your golden crystal dust is buy a good pair of boots. If you have a good pair of boots, then you can buy hand guards. And you have a good pair of hand guards, then you can buy whatever else you want. Space-time store, you want to buy your booster modules, your advanced modules, and your data repeater for the week. Cruise store, now the only thing you want to spend your points on are relics, and the relics that I recommend recommend are Space-Time Rift, unless you have a level 3, or Omnium Shield, but if you have both of those, you might want to consider getting a Drone level 3. Support store, you want to buy your Joint Supply Chips, your Space-Time Crystal Dust, and your Space-Time Crystal Fragments, and if you can, you want to buy your Space-Time Crystal Fragments using return support points, and if you need help on how to do that, I got a guide on my channel. Point store, you want to buy your spare special gifts so that way you don't have to do training, black market, or see this island again, but if you need to level up your matrices or weapons, you could always buy matrix data packs or weapon batteries. And with your critical abyss points, you can buy clusters. But besides that, I just recommend that you explore the map so that way you can get those extra resources. I almost got District A completed, and I'm going to probably start working on District B and try to 100% all of Meoria. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If so, feel free to check out my Annabella DPS calculation video, but other than that, talk with you guys later.